Good afternoon, everyone. Blizzard warning in Hawaii. Pineapple Express, 20 feet of snow, California. Gold all-time record high prices, and all of our grains are rising to the moon at the same time. What does it mean? Let's take a look at it. Going to start you here. Pineapple Express inbound, and where all that moisture flows, snow starts to accumulate. Here's your model. Pivotal weather, putting it together. Areas literally off the chart. So what type of precipitation is going to wash down all the fire damage? Mud flows, debris flows, and when it starts, get out of the way. Precipitable water here. And you'll see the yellow striation along with the orange heading right over the Big Island in Hawaii. On its way to California, Pineapple Express, well, Kona Express, blizzard in Hawaii, Big Island summits, 1 to 2 feet of snow, 85 mile per hour winds. And I would check that as a box of, that's rare, blizzard in Hawaii warnings. So I said, I don't know, let's just double check this. And off the National Weather Service and AccuWeather both, dropping a foot of rain. Lower locations, wind warnings, snow warnings, 120 mile an hour winds. It looks like the winds increased. Circulating low, you can see that brick color right over Hawaii. You can see the islands just visible under there. But notice what's behind it. Absolutely still wind. You see where that white is? That's almost 0 knots or 0 miles per hour that wind is moving. That gray and white is absolutely still wind. Hawaii Volcanoes National Park closed due to winter weather conditions. Snow plows are out. It's not that it doesn't snow in Hawaii, but it doesn't snow in Hawaii every year, and these last 2 years are well above the averages since the 1970s. Look for you here just a little bit after noon on the 30th, and another 6 to 8 hours of snowfall coming. We'll see how it does total out at the end here. Also, another rare snowfall for you. Rare snow. Joshua Tree National Park, California. Mojave Desert. This is on the 27th, a few days back. Had those really large, heavy flakes that came down, blanketed. Desert's going to love this. Blooms are going to be coming out. And from a further view vantage point, you can see how the peaks are covered there. And even just a month ago, December 21st, the solstice, 2024, snow again. It does snow about once a year, perhaps, but the depths here are far above the flurries that would be normally captured. And I know it's just a month between that, but a couple of times of deeper snows in the winter puts it into the more extreme category. And speaking of that, extremes, check out the height of these trees. Sequoia National Forest in the snowfall. Wonder if there's any extra large prints in the snow around those trees with our supernatural forest friends. It turns out the key to losing weight and keeping it off is not carbs or fat or even probiotic-rich foods. Nope. The end game of having a healthy weight, as well as more energy and a long, healthy life, comes down to a specific switch which you can flip in your body to flush out unnecessary calories. Dr. Stephen Gundry is calling this caloric bypass. And by activating this specific process in your body, he's seen thousands, yes, thousands of people dramatically improve their health, even at age 50 and beyond. This includes losing weight, getting tons more energy, and returning to the good health that they had in their youth once they simply addressed this one key to better health. Dr. Stephen Gundry has lost 70 pounds himself using this research and has kept the weight off for over 20 years and counting. His digestive issues are gone, his health is fantastic, and he feels younger and healthier today than he did in his 40s. His video has been watched by over 20 million people to date, and you can watch and learn more about it at thehealthyfat.com/adapt. And he'll teach you exactly how he's kept his weight off for free at thehealthyfat.com/adapt. Click on that link in the description box below. Sliding you back down to Florida. Remember how the record snow and cold just last week? This week, 80 degrees. That's quite some flip, and we're starting to see above normal temperatures all through the southeast U.S. But just a week ago, record snow, paralyzing interstates and causing billions of dollars of damage due to broken pipes and everything that cold weather does. We're in an area that's not ready for that type of cold weather. Insurance claims put it around 20 billion so far, but the heat is back with a vengeance. But don't get too comfortable. Here comes the next polar vortex splitting off. Stratospheric warming event giving us the, oh no, figure 8. The cold is coming back. Watch this split. It's like an embryo. Boom, here we go. That is going to drive polar temperatures back down to the United States coming up through the 6th to the, say, 14th of this month. In February 4th shows you on the whiteout here how that blob is starting to make its way further south. You can look at the temperatures, those pinks, purples at the top there. Northern Canada, that's 40, 45 degrees Celsius below zero. And you can see that frontal line there. That's a rainbow ribbon of destruction where that high wind. Expect huge storm fronts right there where these two are colliding. Anytime you see this pattern coming off, that thin line is where destructive weather always occurs. And watch how it moves from February 6th. And notice the movement through the day. It's going to have more of this straight configuration into it's really starting to bend and get wrapped around the mountains out west. And we'll see what kind of wild weather that brings us. That demarcated line is very clean. And you can see these incredible flips from hot to cold, polar back to tropical. That is not good for any vegetation. Now this warm anomaly that's here for about 2 weeks in the southeast U.S., the plants are going to think it's springtime and they're going to come out and start setting blooms. I've had the same thing happen on my farm for the last couple of years where blooms start to set out early because of warm, and then another polar vortex comes in and we get 2 to 3 days of well below freezing temperature, and all that possible fruit production's wiped out. Those flowers only set once a year. So think about agriculture being damaged during this time, and what other effects do you think would be, or it's just a topsy-turvy environment. So think about how you respond to that change, again, from instantly hot to instantly cold in a day or so. What's it doing to you, yourself, in terms of your emotion and your physical body? But think about the plant and animals as well, and the wildlife out there. How are they responding to this? We got the magnetic field, now magnetic north transiting toward the Kamchatka Peninsula. The new magnetic model was released about a week and a half ago, showing that it moved 70 miles over the last year. So all these things are in play, and all of these dovetailing and overlaying themselves at the same time. We have this tremendous change that's affecting food production, but the world's being pushed in a certain direction at the exact same time. So is it being pushed to cover over what you see occurring in the flip-flops and the magnetic excursion? Something to ask. The timeliness of it all occurring at these exact same moments in history is a bit strange for me. Something's happening to cover as an excuse for something larger that would spook the populace a little more if you were to come clean with what's truly happening. And that thing would be crop losses, massive. Let's take a look at Brazil's shelf cloud here coming in. Scary to look at that thing right over your head as they zoom up. Yeah, I would be heading inside. But the accumulated rainfall composite here, this is in Brazil, and the soybeans are, how shall we say, in trouble. They've had 15 to 25 inches of rain in the last 30 days, and then the forecast for another 6 to 10 inches coming up in the next 6 to 10 days. Difficult to get in there and harvest. So you might see why soybeans are skyrocketing in price at the moment. Well, everything is. We got the new tariffs coming in on Mexico, Canada, and China. So what you're looking at here is traders in the market that think the price of corn is going to go through the roof. The black line is the number of traders that are holding these 5,000 bushel contracts. It is near the all-time highest ever of people going long on corn. So somebody knows something. Big money doesn't lose money. So these funds are 350,000 contracts, and I'm sure that will change as we go into Monday and Tuesday. I would imagine it'll go above 400, especially with the tariffs coming in. The only 4 years that have been more long, shall they say, 2010-11, that was a gargantuan loss year for corn and soy, and 21-22. That was right in the middle of the vid era when a lot of people weren't going to work, so not so much as get harvesting. And again, our prices rose, and they're still rising. We're in this never-ending feedback loop of rising food prices, and now we have tropical heat colliding with polar cold every other week. That's not good for plants. Wheat hitting it too. They're bouncing off the bottom. We're going for soaring wheat prices. Everything is going up again. And there's going to be more money moving around as people, like the average person, starts to look and go, whoa, things are getting too expensive. I need to park my money somewhere else outside a bank. And lo and behold, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, the CME Group, opens micro ag futures 1/10 the size. So that 5,000 bushel contract, you can get it at a 500 bushel contract. Way cheaper. They're trying to pull in the general public into getting on micro contracts with corn, soy, wheat, and soy meal. Same thing they do with Bitcoin. They got micro Bitcoin futures, which is 1/10 of a Bitcoin, or you can get a full contract of a 1 Bitcoin delivery, cash settled only. More accessible with lower capital requirements. Reading through the news, people were just like, wow, this is a game changer right here. Why is it happening right now? Again, why is there so much change occurring when the crop losses are happening? Because of, like I say, tropical to polar, polar to tropical every other week. Because if Mexico's our number one U.S. corn export destination and 25% tariffs are slapped onto them, I think this number might decrease a little bit. That's just me, though. Again, looking at the past, how will this get redistributed elsewhere? And which countries will be looking to buy that extra corn that's available on the market? I don't have that answer, but I am sure a buyer will emerge. Because food getting that expensive, you can still get your hands on it. They're going to get their hands on it. Everything we see is just a repeat in history happening, going back 7,000 years, 4,000 years, or 400, or whatever you're looking at, we're seeing these same cycles repeat. We are in the civilization cycle at the moment. All this change we're seeing is not by accident. It is forecastable. And if you know when the cycle starts and when the intensification period is, you would know when you have to change things as a governmental body, institution, rulers, whatever you like to call them, would have to change at the exact same time to front run or stay ahead of the panicking populace. And what are we seeing across the world for the last couple of years? Exactly that. So we know we're in the intensification phase. Now, how intense will it get is the next question. That's why I try to bring you more research just like this. So please join me on Patreon, where I load different videos that I don't do here on YouTube, because the content and also the Civilization Cycle podcast channels on YouTube and Rumble. Ransom God, one of my hosts, Thursday nights, 10 p.m. to midnight, putting that one out so we can have a longer discussion about some of these same items. I do appreciate you watching. Hope you got something out of the video. See you next time. Bye for now.